In this video, we explore the benefits and challenges of cat fences. Watch our first video on materials, installation, technical considerations, and our journey with various prototypes before listening to this one if you haven't already. Let's start with the challenges. As I've mentioned in my videos on catios and leash walks, be aware of the following risks. Beware of sunburn. Make sure your cats have shade where they can laze around. Beware of toxic plants. Make sure your yard is free of dangerous plants such as lilies, whose pollen alone can be deadly to cats, and daylilies, which are in the same family. Contact with other cats through the fence can cause transmission of diseases such as feline leukemia, get your cats vaccinated, and parasites, ticks, ear mites, worms, fleas, etc. Talk to your vet, who will be able to advise you on the best way to protect your cats. Now be aware that cat fences are designed to prevent escapes, not to prevent animals from being brought in from the outside. In the first year, a cat got in from the shed where they had climbed and got into a fight with Miley, injuring him. And then another neighbor's cat also got in at some point, and although there was no fighting, he couldn't get out and panicked when I went to open the door. He eventually got out, but these are never nice interactions. By changing the fence behind the shed, this has not happened since. Be aware that the neighbor's shed or furniture near the fence can make it easier for cats to get in, and you can't ask them to change their yard for you and your cats. There have also been raccoons, so here they are in the section near the house before it was secured. Raccoons are big in Montreal. They are very well fed, clearly, and they are not really bothered by you. I find them cute, but I don't want them to interact with my cats. I saw the raccoons on the fence once with my camera, and then another time one of them managed to get in, and they couldn't get out again. So I had to go and open the gate that separated the yard in two. Thankfully, at that time, the section near the house, they didn't have a fence that was finished between me and the neighbors. So by just opening the fence in between, the raccoon was able to get out this way. I didn't have to cross the whole yard with the raccoon there to go open the other gate. Keep an eye out on your yard regularly. You don't want an animal to get in and get stuck, but both for your cat's sake and for this poor animal's sake. Climbing plants in the netting are a problem because they make it easier for animals to get in from outside by creating a more comfortable carpet of vegetation over the netting. I think that's what contributed to the introduction of the raccoon. Maintain your climbing plants accordingly by curbing their enthusiasm. I have not had any introductions in the past year, so that's good. Other wildlife that you may want to consider are birds of prey, which may come and pick your cat up, and coyotes. A cat fence is not as secure as a heavy-duty wire catio. Urine marking is another consideration. If your cat senses cats in the neighborhood, depending on the cat and the density of cats, they may feel the need to mark in the yard so that their scent spreads nearby and announces their presence. Urine marking is a normal behavior, but in neutered cats, it can indicate potential negative stress, typically caused by the presence of other cats. Unfortunately, you cannot control the neighborhood cats, so you may end up with urine on your shed or through your fence. Crazy carpets can help to ensure that the area where your cat marks is smooth and therefore easy to spray with enzyme cleaner if required to remove the smell and break down the urine. On the cat-to-cat side of things, paw fights could happen through the fence. A tunnel or a cat flap can be blocked by one of your own cats, preventing the others from going through. A wider dirt tunnel and more than one access points are possible solutions. Make sure your cats have control over their access to the inside. They should be able to go back inside on their own if they feel the need to, especially if they perceive a threat or something that worries them. Also make sure your cats have hiding spots. I have tunnels and a barrel with styrofoam In the winter, I close it up even more so that they have a backup hideout if something prevents them from coming back inside. We want to make sure our cats can escape predators, but also the harsh sun, the rain, the wind, and the snow. One thing that I had not thought about was litter boxes in the winter. Since sand invariably gets hard from the cold, it becomes much harder to dig in for the cats during the winter. So even though the litter box is accessible, Miley, who prefers to go outside to pee and poop, sometimes prefers to poop in the snow because the snow is easy to dig in. This means that in the spring, as the snow melts, there are some little puddles of poops that will appear and need to be picked up. This is something to think about if you're thinking about not supervising your cat every time they go out in the garden. If you live in a place where it snows a lot, like me in Montreal, you will need to think about snow removal. Making a small path so that your cat does not sink into the snow is a minimum. As winter progresses, watch out for mounds of snow that accumulate and could facilitate an escape. If you have wire tunnels like me, cover them with thick polyethylene, vapor barrier, attached with tie wraps, zip ties. This will prevent snow from entering and accumulating. It's really difficult to remove snow from tunnels. Birds and squirrels will continue to access your yard. They may therefore be preyed upon by your cats. Insects such as cicadas and grasshoppers are also very exciting for your cat to hunt and to devour. It is up to you to decide if this is a problem for you. In 2 years, I've had one mouse that got caught and one bird. And the bird actually flew away when I came out with a cat toy with a bell. Miley must have opened his mouth enough when he heard the sound because he loves toys with feathers and bells, and the bird flew away. Miley looked like he was wondering where he had dropped his bird when I arrived. So I have a feeling that birds and squirrels learn to see cats coming and perch higher up as time goes. Having bushes where squirrels can quickly escape will also prevent cats from catching them. Squirrels are notorious for chewing on a variety of surfaces. In this case, they ate my garden gate, so be sure to regularly check the perimeter of your fence. Escapes from below are just as important as escapes from above. In this case, I had a roughly screwed wood panel that came loose and Miloman found it. You might have a dusty cat that will come into the house. Maybe you don't like that. Squirrels might eat all the heads of your flowers that can reach the fence. Evil people might feed your cats anything through the fence. Okay, that's enough for boring, annoying stuff. Now let's leave the challenge section and look at the advantages. There will be no cat poop in your neighbor's gardens if your cats are restricted to your home, so this is much better for your neighborly relations. Cats are three-dimensional. They perch everywhere. Access to the outdoors offers great opportunities to climb, scratch, run, jump. Practicing species-typical behaviors is important for each individual. Hiding in the vegetation and spying on birds and squirrels, observing wildlife, climbing poles, etc. These behaviors contribute to your cat's well-being. If we consider the sensory aspects, while access to the outdoors allows cats to get used to the sights, sound, and smells of strange humans passing by, dogs, bikes, children, etc., it helps to habituate them to unusual things, to novelty. This becomes very beneficial when it comes time to move house, to go to the vet, the groomer, etc. Because a cat that does not live between four walls acquires a variety of experiences more regularly and learn that strangers that go by are not there to capture them and cook them. Interactions with other cats through the fence can also sometimes be positive. Some cats like to chat with other cats, sniff one another nose to nose, and roll in tandem on the ground, playing with their paws through the fence. The sights, sounds, and smells of the cat's prey are also very exciting: birds, mice, squirrel, and insects. The smells of vegetation and those carried by the wind are also entertaining. The taste of grass and the taste of insects that they eat brings variety to the diet. From a tactile point of view, we can think of the pleasant sensations that cats can feel when they roll on the ground in the grass, perch and balance on things. We're thinking about proprioception here. Feel the sun on their body. We also know that the sun has beneficial effects on the kidneys in humans. So since cats are often prone to kidney failure as they age, it may be doubly relevant for them to give them access to the sun. Access to the outdoors also gives more space and variety for scent games, feline agility, one-play sessions, etc. Cats are crepuscular and therefore active starting at around 4 a.m. They have more opportunities to entertain themselves if they can access the outdoors. And finally, spending quality time with your cats, reading in a hammock, sitting on the cat patio, playing hide and seek, etc., is also a very good reason to give them access to the outdoors. In this series of 2 videos, we explored various aspects of cat fences. I hope this has helped you to understand them better and see the benefits, the challenges, and the opportunities.